depends upon what the project scope is. And again, I think he had also mentioned earlier that if you have the resources, you have the money, you have all the time in the world, go for it, go beyond, but never forget the user. At the end of the day, you have to cater to the target audience and you have to satisfy both the client and the user needs.
By the end of the course or the program, whatever, it can be the BBA program or it can be the diploma program, we push our students to get the internships done, a 6-month internship or 3-month internships. Well, that will automatically absorb them to the production. So it's like we can easily tell yes, we do have a connect, we do have a really good connect with the industry experts and industry productions also. So that answers the question.
Can you describe the interaction and experience design program and GD and curriculum and what set it apart from the other design programs?
We make sure that you get the industry level experiences when here. Not just theoretical experience, but make sure you do the practical part, and you get to see live projects. You get to work with the industry experts as well. You get to listen, learn what they did, their experiences in the company, the work culture, and everything. So, yeah. If you want to add on something.
Yes. So with that, I should add another point wherein we have a dedicated subject called a design studio, wherein that is where it gives a nice connection to the students with the industry experts. So where they'll be able to work with live projects, or they can even create their own brands, or they can come up with ideas where they can see where exactly their students standing when coming in the market. Okay, so wherein we'll be bringing industry experts with our students so that they can easily get the feedback on the designs in real time. They can easily understand that where exactly they are lagging, based upon feedback given by the jurors also. So it's just a learning experience what we have. But as I told you before, out of this curriculum or out of this program, students won't be very new to the market. They'll also be able to understand how the entire operations are done in the industries.
To add on to this, we are always making sure that we are keeping everything in trend, following the trends, we are following the technology as well. Any new technology like Figma design, which is new now, we've adapted that as well, and we make sure the students know all the softwares and are at least aware of what it does.
Yeah, he or she needs to be capable of putting out their ideas. Can be through sketch or through verbally. They can easily communicate how they want to communicate. There's have to be a very good clarity. And usually we hear that how to think out of the box. Also, that's also a common question what we usually get. There is something like think out of box. It's like how you differently approach a concept or how differently you can approach a situation. That's all about it. So it's not like student is not creative or the employee is not creative enough. It's not like that. Everyone are creative enough in their own limits, definitely. So that's about it.
Okay. So what experience do you have in graphic design, and what are some of the favorite design projects you have worked on?
So I'm into this field, I'm in this academic field from 4 years, and before that I was into productions for almost like 3.5 years in the production as an exhibit artist and a motion graphic artist. So with that I run my own design studio also, wherein I do provide the internship for to students right after their graduations, right after their programs. And interest is more, I'm into more of the branding or the strategies and the motion graphics, where static visuals can be into life, basically more of the dynamic visuals, dynamic interactions. That's what I do. That's my interest.
Yeah. So the first question was my experience and
area of interest and what is your favorite project?
So I've been in the field of being a multi-display designer for the past 4 to 5 years now, and I've probably worked in different types of mediums of design. It could be from, for example, I've mentioned this before, but I would be working on, at one moment I'd be working on designing an application which will deliver groceries to your doorstep through the means of the game. And the next moment I'll be working on a really cool poster for AB and Budweiser. So it's always really fun, and I've been working in this field, always interchanging and collaboratively working within different fields of design as well. And yeah, my favorite project I also mentioned right now is one of the Budweiser one, and the second one was I did work on a branding project for an NFT-based market space. And it was really nice because those rare moments you have a client that actually listens to you and takes your advice. and doesn't think they're an expert in design despite being a doctorate. So that was good.
How do you ensure that your design work meets the need of your client or audience?
Ensure that our design
And yeah, meets the audience requirement, client requirement.
client requirement. So one, the initial analysis what we do, we just see the initial client brief what we get from the client. That is one. Okay. So usually you usually tell one thing, or I have my own what do you call principle. Don't listen to the client, listen to the brand. Just do what is required for the brand, or just do what is required for that concept. Later, they just convince the client, because client won't be having any sort of ideas. Not every time they'll be having the idea, what exactly the brand is required for, what is asking or what is demanding for. So if you just do what is required for the brand or the concept, that is the major justifications what automatically can go with audience also. Of course, after that we'll go for the feedback on the designs. We'll do a different sort of research, quantitative or qualitative research also. So wherein we'll get the PRs from the actual audience, or we do the test basically. So that's where we get a chance to improve our designs also, or improvise the designs basically.
As a product manager on the other side of the designer's table, I often get designs done by designers, and I'm in a position to kind of review and take iterations of it. The way I
Distribute that.
as a product manager who sits on the other side of the table of the designer, I often work with designers and in a position where I need to review designs before we pick it up for implementation and put it in front of the users. So the way I evaluate designs is basically on 3 parameters high level. One, the design must be honest, intuitive, and usable. If these 3 things are met, then we have the metrics, then we have the analytics, which of course will come once the product is there at the user's hand. But making sure that the design is intuitive, usable, and honest in what it attempted to do solves the majority of how you evaluate a design or a designer's work. Post that, obviously, it goes to the users, and then every company or every project has got the metrics and the analytics. And you can look at those numbers that we defined for that particular project and see if it is meeting the bar or not. And then the cycle continues.
What are the career growth or career aspects? What kind of field that they can go? Even if it can be a graphic design, can be an IT related, means technology driven sector it might be, or it can be a UI UX related. So what kind of career path that they can choose and what they can be? So if you give some lights on those things, so it will be more helpful.
Yes. So after learning this graphic design program, the PV or the diploma program what we are offering, so an individual can easily go as a communication designer as a base. Okay, he can just start off as or take as a communication designer. After that, visual designer. Again, so basically the visual designer also there are different sections what we have, different destinations what we have, or you can more into pre-visualization artist, more into the filmmaking also. So if it's more into filmmaking, then again we need a 2D artist. Just a sketch we need a 2D artist to put out the ideas of what the directors or cinematographers are working on. After that we have a storyboarding artist. So like that it just go on and on and on. So it's like it doesn't have a particular end for this designations, because in one way in filmmaking or in film media we call in one terminologies, but in productions it's a different designations what we have. So that's about the graphic design. Similarly with UX also, like all these fields just open up a lot of opportunities for the students or for the individuals who are getting trained with us. So he or she can easily go to filmmaking or a product designer, UI designer or VFX, any sort of things. And he or she can be a creative director also, or a creative artist also, or art director also, more into art department where he or she can design an entire set for a film also. So it's like that. So that's my pointers on it. So similarly with the UX, yeah.
So I would like to add a point. So I don't think the designation is what we need to be focusing on. The roles and responsibilities, the product, the brand is what you need to be focusing on, right? The designation can be anything. It can just because even in UI UX, you can only be a UX designer. You can be UI UX designer. You can be a UX analyst. So don't focus on the designation, but focus on the product and the kind of projects that you want to work on.
On the tech side of things, typically graduates start off as a software engineer. It could be service-based or product-based companies. Or more specifically, if you're going into the data side of things, you can start off as a data engineer, where one is responsible for instrumenting the analytics that you need for the data to go as inputs to a model and the model doing outputs. So you would engineer things, capture the metadata in the right format, make sure it is cleaned up, make sure it is processable by the model that you build, so that it can spit out the output that you want to generate. Once you are a data engineer, you can become data analysts, or you can become data scientists who are responsible for the models that spit out the insights based on the data. And that's how the career typically progresses. From there on, obviously, it depends on the interest and other learnings and how you want to take it forward. But you can expect to start off either as a software engineer or a data engineer right out of college.
So I'd like to add a point for UI UX students in specific. So if like when you're studying UI UX course, you would learn about both UI and UX, right? So by the end of the course, you would know what you're more interested in. Is it UX or is it UI or is it visual design? So according to that, you have to look for jobs. According to what your interest is, you can look for jobs. Obviously, you can do a full stack thing as well, like UI and UX both. But if you're interested one and more, like I am a UI designer more than a UX designer. So my first job was visual designer, right? So yeah, it totally depends on your interest as well.
From student point of view, if he want to prepare himself for an interview or something, or what company is looking for in a candidate, it can be a graphic design company, it can be IT company, it can be a UX company. So what quality you are looking for in a student? So what kind of skill set that is needed for a student to be prepared for this kind of interviews or job?
So I rather call it as a creative approach rather than a skill set, because learning tools or softwares doesn't get you anything, because that is just for the execution part. But before that, we have 10 students in a class, example. So in that, how differently you can approach that concept, or how uniquely you can do it. It can be in terms of the time taken, or it can be in terms of the delivery or deliverables, all those stuff. So that is you need to have your own creative approach. That's what we initially look for. Then, rather than the skill set, and of course with the technology means with the AI, also definitely students can easily, they can easily have their own ways, own approach also to visualize things. So that's about it. So similarly in
with this, you would also have an interview task. Like most of the companies would like to do, like you can talk, you can tell them what you're doing, you can show it in your resume, but they want to see it in live, right? So they give you a small task, and it depends on how you perform that task as well. And are you, visually communicating it and verbally communicating it as well? There's something I think.
Yeah, actually, to add to her point, and to your point, the key things that they actually focus on is never truly the end result, but the process involved.
Yes.
How you think to achieve a visual solution or a UX solution. It's the design thinking that they're super interested in rather than the final end result. And you might be tempted to be like, you know what, I'll just not show my iterative process, but that is the gold mine that will give you the job and determine whether or not they actually think you're a fit for their company. So that's another thing I want to add.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here and addressing all the questions.